Hey, what's going on everyone? This is episode 3, Top 10 Creative Builds. This is going to be a really good one for inspiring ideas, I think, because we're going to take a look at 10 of the interesting builds that have been sent in to me. So, without further ado, let's begin at number 10. Up first we have Vileblood Hunter using what he calls his Golden Knight build. He's using twin swords and the Dragon Slayer spear, but in a pretty unusual way. He pokes his opponent with his spear from the left hand to start a stun lock, and then combos in his right hand sword attacks. He also used the Lightning Blade miracle on his sword, so that's his main damage output, plus it has the added benefit of matching the golden aesthetic of his build. Great, flawless kill there, taking no damage and securing the win. The offhand spear was a nice touch, and then the golden theme really helped out with the fashion. Broken Aeons is just gonna punch people in the face. Now he has actually put a lot of thought into this build. He's got both Pontiff Eye Rings, the Carthus Beacon Pyromancy, and the old Wolf Curve Sword in his offhand. Now all of those items give health and damage boosts during consecutive attacks, so essentially they're perfect for this fist weapon build because of the long attack combos. You might have noticed that the health regen he got from his attack combos were actually very significant, and then you have to add that on top of the fact that the longer he hits his opponent for, the higher his damage will get. So overall that's a very effective and well put together build. Viridin Wraith is using what he calls a Berserker build. He's using the Manserpent Hatchet, which, first of all, I don't think I've ever seen that used before, and he's combining it with Iron Flesh for the permanent hyper armor and the great defense bonuses, and then he's performing the Warcry weapon art to actually move fairly quickly. I gotta say, fighting with slow builds like this always looks so risky. I mean, he was playing his mind games with extremely low stamina for a lot of that fight. It's very tense to watch, I think. Next up we have the handsome Geek, who's using maces. Now that is something unusual, but he's switching it up even more by dual wielding the maces, a normal and a great. It's surprisingly effective to do something like this because of the combo potential and the ability to use the great mace to draw them in and then switch the shorter mace for closer combat. Great fight, and yep, throwing in the cheeky symbol of avarice in the end there as well. Now Heavy Metal Cupid taught me something new today. When you're at low health, like the 10% range, there are items that will increase your damage output, specifically in this case the Morian Blade and the Red Tearstone Ring. Turns out Morian Blades actually stack with each other, so he was dual wielding them, plus the Red Tearstone Ring, boosting his AR crazy high, and then hitting over 1,700. The Babarams has made a Candlestick waifu build, his words not mine, and all he uses is the Cleric's Candlestick and various pyromancies. Now his appearance is striking too. He's wearing the Scholar's robe covered in wax, he's made the skin colour completely white to look like candle wax, plus he's used the Cast Light sorcery, so he literally looks like a lit candle with a flame above him. That was an excellent parry to finish off the fight. Thank you, Mr. Candle, for spreading your light across this dark land. Oliver has made all the rangers out there proud today. Bow only builds are hard enough. You'd think you'd try and be as mobile as possible, but Oliver has instead chosen to use Iron Flesh. Very unusual. He's essentially going for a ranged tank. to do a little bit of firing from the hip there at the end after his Iron Flesh wore off, but he pulled off a bow-only Iron Flesh build, something I never thought could be possible, so really nice work there. Matt Bergs is using the Immolation Tinder weapon, which is a melee weapon that is also a catalyst, so he's basically made a hybrid sorcerer. It's such an effective build because the issue with casters normally is that they can be beaten just by being close up and aggressive. But in this case he can actually bat them away with his weapon, switch up weapon timings by using the physical sorcery attacks, as well as the normal swings, and then on top of that he can punish them with ranged sorceries if they back away from it. Awesome job with that build. It's really nice to see the rarer sorceries being made viable and not just the same old Crystal Soul Spear spam. Izorski has spent a lot of time putting together a pretty terrifying looking build. He's using Iron Flesh, which as we know makes you over encumbered and walk very slowly, except he's got around that by using the Mannequin Claws Quick Step weapon art. So that basically means he gets the great hyper armor and defense of Iron Flesh while still being very mobile. It's such a great idea. I can't believe I never thought of that before. That was such an aggressive kill. So much pressure put on the opponent there. That was amazing. Definitely a very unique setup. Now for number 1, Type Zeta has put together a lot of interesting strategies from all the previous submissions it feels like. He's just prepared for anything. He calls this his Terminator Iron Body build, and it features 40 Vitality, Iron Flesh. He's filled up all 6 of his equipment slots and he uses everything in them, and one of the weapons he has is called a Thrall Axe. It also has a quick step dash ability, so he can move around fast even with Iron Flesh. Other right hand weapons are the Lothric Holy Sword, which has a fantastic range attack, always catches people off guard, and then there's the Yorm's Great Machete, which has a guaranteed 2-hit stun lock if they get too close. And then he has the Notched Whip in his offhand, kind of as a finisher weapon. It's actually very good for catching people low on health from a distance for that final hit. All in all, just a very strong build on all fronts, kind of prepared for anything. I suppose it's a jack of all trades, you might say. Thank you to everyone who submitted their clips. Next episode will be Top 10 Trolls. Now you'll have a good chance of getting into this one, I think, because the topic is fairly challenging, plus I have actually been getting less clips sent to me recently, so I have been able to look through them all myself, which is good. I hope you're all fired up now with setup ideas and maybe inspired to try out a new build that you haven't tried before. So yeah, please like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I just remembered, before I ever started YouTube, I always thought when I watched YouTubers and they said subscribe, it always just sounded quite cool, you know? Alright, anyway, see you in the next video.